If you ask me about my favorite villain from Aladdin, the animated series, then it can only be Mechanicles.
Greetings, meddlesome strangers! I am Mechanicles, the greatest of the great Greek geniuses. Archimedes, an amateur. Socrates, talk. To make a long story short, I plan on taking over the world.
Of course!
As he said, he's a Greek genius. He constructs various machines which he uses for his conquest. Mostly it's just insect-like robots. You heard right, robots. In ancient times. Truly a man ahead of his time. But regardless of his magnificent skills and genius, he has two major drawbacks. One, his huge ego, and two, he's obsessive compulsive.
You have got to get these oil stains right away or they will leave a marks. I hate wrinkles and bumps and things, don't you? They're so... They just plain give me the willies. Disinfectant! Get the iodine! The squawker touched me! It touched me!
He's got mental problems. That's hilarious. But I think I'm not the only one who actually liked him. Mechanicles had made appearances in 7 episodes total. That's like him appearing every 12 episodes. He gets his first appearance in episode 6, Getting the Bugs Out, where Aladdin stops his plan to destroy a village with his robo-insects. Since then, he keeps trying to get revenge on Aladdin. For example, in episode 10, he builds a giant fire-breathing robo-centipede. And 4 episodes later, he already has a robotic kraken ready. And in episode 16, giant robo-scorpions. And later, he even builds himself a giant robotic suit. But he's not just about giant robots. He once built a robot that hypnotized everyone except Genie and Carpet, and he also destroyed the rainforest with an army of tiny robotic termites. But undoubtedly my favorite episode with him is episode 23, Flawed Couple. There, Abyss Mal and Mechanicles actually join forces. Abyss has got himself a few weird stones that manipulate emotions. Problem is that he doesn't know how to use them without himself becoming manipulated by them. Together they figure out that the robo-insects could carry the stones and this way manipulate their foes. This is a fun episode for many reasons. For once, it's fun to see the genius and the idiot work together, but it's also fun because of all the stuff the stones do to the heroes. Like, for example, Aladdin becomes a coward, Genie turns into a snob, but my favorite part is still Jasmine, because she gets manipulated by the Jewel of Envy.
I wish I could fly. How come I'm never in the lead? I wish I were a monkey. Oh, I wish I were a fearsome engine of destruction. Oh, I wish I were plummeting to my doom.
Now, I assume you might wonder why he's my favorite villain. Well, for once, it's him being such an outsider in the villaindom of Aladdin. Sure, Aladdin has an interesting lineup of bad guys, but mostly it's either evil magicians or thieves whom still rely on magical items. Mechanicles, however, relies on technology. But another thing making him so different is that, well, he's Greek. Seriously, his clothing and the architecture of his workshops reminds me more of Disney's Hercules. Another reason I like Mechanicles is that he has a weakness. Most, not to be taken too seriously, villains have the weakness of their stupidity. Mechanicles, however, is a genius. His weakness is his overconfidence and his quirkiness. Or should I say, insanity. Quite a colorful fella, ain't he? And as if this wasn't enough, the writers squeezed in so many running gags into him.
I am Mechanicles, Mechanicles, the greatest of the great Greek geniuses. Yes, Mechanicles, greatest of the great Greek geniuses. Mechanicles, the greatest of the great Greek geniuses. I'll wash the dishes after I take over the world. Please terrorize villagers. Torch buildings. Never tell enemy which lever will destroy inventor. I hope you don't mind if I catch up on my ironing while I divulge my latest diabolical plan to impose order on a chaotic world.
Now I do have to admit, he's not a perfect villain. His motivation tends to be either vague or ridiculous. He wants to make the world clean, but that usually means making the world a place where it's impossible to live. He's a genius, so he has to know that much. Another problem is, how does he get the money to rebuild his machines and workshop over and over and over again? That doesn't make any sense. But speaking of not making sense, why does Mechanicles build insects? Aren't they usually slimy and nasty? Shouldn't someone like Mechanicles have a phobia for them?
It's touching my creation! Hey, there's some spidery footprints disgusting.
But there's also something else that's been bugging me. Mechanicles has a little sidekick called Scooter. I didn't really mention him in this video so far because he doesn't always show up. Also, he doesn't have a voice or anything. He's just a soulless machine like all the rest. But then, why is he given a name? Why does Mechanicles keep rebuilding him? What makes Scooter so special? Was he his first invention or what? A bit more info would be nice. But now, let's wrap up. Mechanicles is the mad scientist of the ancient times. Admittedly, he's not a great villain. His inventions are kinda creepy, and it's exciting to see the heroes fight against them or even inside them. But their creator, he's just a goofball with a weird voice and mental problems. Still, I like Mechanicles a lot because of how memorable he is. You can really tell that the designers and writers had some fun making him. He's not just a let's make a more tech-based villain kind of deal. He's pretty well fleshed out and, well, memorable. Guess that's no surprise considering how he sticks out in every possible way. When he showed up, you knew that in this episode, magic takes a step back and great giant machines march in. It also meant that the genie wasn't necessarily the only person on the set to have mental problems. Plus, again, he's just so different. It's like, what do we have here? Yeah, a stupid fat guy. Oh, an evil wizard. Yeah, nice. Gee, god of death. Oh, what's this? A crazy Greek inventor with giant robots who's obsessive compulsive? Awesome!
Aladdin,
What are you doing?
Making chocolate pudding.
what are you talking about?
Why on earth are you making chocolate pudding?
Because I've lost control of my life. Here's your pudding.
Mechanicles. As the great Greek philosopher Plato said,